Today then we're at the Church Farm Museum. We're going to be opening a new railway track. I believe it's Skegness and Wainfleet. It's not quite built all the way yet, but you'll get an idea. So if you're around and you see this on YouTube, come on down to Skegness, Church Farm Museum, you'll be able to see it all there. By the way, a lot of you don't realise, but this is Naomi. She's the one who's got the church farm up back on its feet.
I'm not drinking on the job.
Take two. Clipboard.
Take two.
Right, thank you everybody for turning up. This is a special occasion, and what I'd like to do is thank everybody that's been involved in getting the model village to where it is, so that we can have this day. This is the start up of it, and hopefully there'll be many more days and many more visits to come to show the progress of what we're doing. So what I'm going to do is hand you over to Naomi. Naomi's just going to say a few words about what we've managed to do so far.
No.
A few kind words.
Yeah, so it's been absolutely amazing. It was fantastic when Gloria reached out to us and said that would we want this. It's of historical value to us because it's of Wainfleet and Skegness station, and the track that goes between. We honestly are thrilled to have it here, so thank you ever so much. And I want to say thank you very much to my lovely volunteers that have really worked hard in trying to get it to the point that it is now, so that we can now officially open it and have many more people join.
Well done. And I also like, obviously from the family point of view, this is going to be obviously the start of something really big for us in Skegness, and obviously it's very heartwarming that we're going to carry it on your what belonged to you and you've been donated kindly to us. So if you'd like to have a few words, that'd be fantastic if you won't mind. Thank you. Well, go on, Mr. Mayor, you go first.
Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for the invitation. When I first got the invitation, I was intrigued to learn a little bit more, and over time I've learned that the gentleman, the Reverend John Borman, spent many years developing this, and as I've learned from his grandchildren and wife today, it was a lot of years putting it together. What's been put together in there at the moment looks fantastic, but apparently I'm led to believe there's still more to add to it, because it's so big and so fantastic when it's all put together. I've not actually seen the photographs, but I believe it's something even more special than what's already up. So on behalf of the Church Farm Museum, for the amount of work that's got into it, I've been asked to present Les and Jan a gift of appreciation for the amount of work that's gone in already.
Well done. Well done, Les. Well done.
A labour of love.
You've not finished yet. So thank you. Right,
Turn round, Les. Turn round to have my picture.
Yeah.
thank you very much. There's still more to do, I believe. Right, I'd now like to pass you over to Gloria to say a few words about it in a lot more depth, but I really appreciate coming all the way from South Africa. So it must be an honour to actually see it finally put together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We need to be formal on these occasions, don't we? Your mayor had a very short little piece of paper for his speech, but I've got a book, so just be prepared to stand for a little while. But no, it's not as bad as that. I want to say, first of all, thank you to those people who have put so much work into this, and I know and the family knows how much work goes into building a layout. And perhaps at this stage I would like to say how lovely it is to have the family with us. And as you see, we are also recording, and this is going back to South Africa, and in fact all over South Africa. Once people knew that I was coming, they wanted to see. And also we have another daughter and a granddaughter who were not able to come over. But expensive, these things. And so to Annabelle and to Tanya at home, I hope you are able to enjoy what we are enjoying on this lovely, lovely village farm. And then to say that we have two daughters, Tanya that I've just referred to back in Durban, and Belinda, who's very busy with all the, there we go, she's doing all the technical work. It's always very important at occasions. And then we also have 4 grandchildren, 3 of whom are now living in the UK, and we are so delighted that they're able to be here. 1 is left in Durban, but Annabelle is also busy watching this on the screen at this moment, so she's part of it. And not only that, we have 2 great grandchildren who are making their way around and having a look at the farm. And I'm sure once they thaw out a little bit, the one is still asleep in the pram, but Frank will be able to enjoy all the farming implements and see the chuff chuff going inside here. So with that, let me get on. It's quite an emotional day for us as a family. It's exactly 3 years ago today and 1 month, on the 23rd of May 2021, that my husband died. But he died with his family all around him, and folk had come over, and it was wonderful. 5 o'clock on the Sunday morning, so it's absolutely perfect that we should be having this now. So my husband, my late husband, John Borman, was born in August 1935 here in Skegness. Can you believe that? And he emigrated to South Africa in 1957, and there, whilst in South Africa, he obtained 2 degrees at Rhodes University, and then finally a doctorate at Cape Town University. He ministered to churches, 3 being some of our largest churches in the suburbs, during his 40 years in active ministry. But it was in the 1970s, during our stay in Cape Town, that he met an engineer, Michael Dreyer, and Michael Dreyer became quite a personality in our life. And he had a very large layout, and when John saw that, he was hooked. And Naomi asked me the other day, how long did it take him to build the layout? Well, in the 70s, that was only the beginning, and I want to share a little bit of the journey with you today. And it all begins with research, and don't think you've got an easy ride here. You've got to do research. Model railway enthusiasts develop their layouts very differently, some large, some small, and it all depends on how much space you've got. So, and that is very important. So you'll start one way and you'll develop into something else, and just depending how things move. And this is what I'm going to share with you. So one enthusiast in Durban, for example, he bought 2 flats in Durban, 1 to live in, 1 to develop his layout. And his trains used to chuffy, 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 all in and out the rooms. Believe that if you want to. Absolute true story. And when you're starting your layout and you're building and you're thinking and how you're going to, and you see a thing like that, you can only say, wow. And you know, that's all you'll be able to do with that. And some people, another one built a steam engine railway in his garden. And then all these club people, you know, they get together at each other's venues and they check it all out. Some people like to do more work on the trains running and the mechanics and getting the lights in the carriages and getting the sounds going. There's so many things that you can do. Others like to work on scenery, and so it's a whole combination of things. Now, books. Way back in the 70s, John started his research, and the books, I don't know if we got model railway enthusiasts here, but the Model Railway was a magazine that came out regularly, and piles of those we worked through. And so it also means going to layouts, building in your head and getting things going. Joining the Hornby Club, we belong to a Hornby Club, and every trip we made overseas, we found ourselves just happened to be at the hobby shop. Let's just go in here. The train shop. Model railway or model railway layouts. That was another thing we used to go, and that's what you are going to be developing here. And we would make our way to those. And so it all began. And out he would come proudly with his rails or his carriages or his engines. And yeah, we had to get all that home as well. But finally, he would build his layout. He decided after all that research, he would build his layout based on something back here in Skegness where he was born. And once he decided that he was going to do the Skegness to Wainfleet line, he was away. And down to the plans he got. Because the family here, the Bormans in Skegness, I don't know if any of you know, go back a long, many years. Somewhere before 1886, I hear the little building over here goes back as far as that. And so they go back as far as that. And his father and his great-grandfather were coal merchants back then. So it goes back a long way. Our daughters, Tanya and Belinda, left home. That's what happens, you know. They grow up and they move on. John was moving into a new church and we were buying another house. He had space at last. He was going to start all that research he's been putting in. The actual layout began, the construction of the layout began in the 1980s, and then home came the daughter, number one, back with her two very small children. This is one of them. She decided to start her own business, and because she wanted to be at home with the tiny babies, she decided to start a swim school. And we had the swimming pool in the grounds, and so away she went with her business. Now, John was just settling into this space with his layout, but he had to change a little bit here. But he never gave up, he kept on. He was sharing the space now with mothers and small children. And then one day, as he was busy concentrating on all the little detail that he was working on, a little chap came running in, I suppose around 5 years of age, and made his way to the bathroom. John ignored it. He was very involved in what he was doing. And so Dylan, on the toilet, with no mother to supervise him, was making the strangest noise, and I thought, what on earth is going, ooh, coming from the toilet. And then it quietened down, and the voice said, Emily's granddad. Silence. Emily's granddad, come and wipe my bum. John, needless to say, was very quick to call for help. During that time, things slowed down again. He was getting going. Now they had to slow down because circumstances had changed. But the vision was there, and he would carry on with the goal. In 2004, we had another move. John had retired in 99. I'm a politician. I was in Parliament, and I was retiring from Parliament. And then our second daughter arrived and suggested we buy a property that would accommodate the whole family. So John agreed on one condition, that he had his own room for his layout. Now he was getting stroppy about this. It needed some building alterations. You know something of what you've been through here already. And so everything started out with building alterations. And finally, with all that needed preparing, he was ready to build and to what became his layout. Finally, the Skegness to Wainfleet line, where he was born and had a few of his early childhood years. On his day off once a week, we would find him there under the tables, laying cables, painting walls, making little houses, carriages, tiling roofs, unbelievably intricate and detailed. Some of the stuff I saw him making, I said I would have smashed that long ago if it was me. But he pressed on and was absolutely passionate about it. And alongside this layout, I want to tell you, he wasn't satisfied. He also constructed a small layout right around his study. And this became a real famous attraction because it was unusual to have that. And so we were able to, he did that. And then we had a model railway convention in South Africa, and they came from all over to Durban to this. And he was asked to show his particularly miniature railway running around his study, and obviously showed the other one as well. We were asked to host that and lunch, and I prepared everything and thought that we'd do something nice and easy with chicken, so that we wouldn't have a whole heap of people running in and out. Where I was trying to work and get the lunch, I was scheduled to do the lunch as batches of people went in and out. And lo and behold, 30 minutes before they were due to arrive, I rushed off to have my quick bath and tidy myself up, got back, and all the chicken was gone. The plate was licked clean by our Great Dane Jane. She enjoyed the lunch. And so, well, we had to make another plan. So the Hornby Club he belonged to met regularly, and once a year the wives used to join with that, and we would have that at our home because it was big enough and we had the space. John looked forward to that every year until in 2019 we hosted that for the last time. We were downsizing, and all the years of work, his pride and joy had to be dismantled and packed into boxes. And so in 2020 we bought a unit in a gated estate with a double garage. For what? So that the model railway could be moved into a new home. He made a start with the walls and got our youngest granddaughter Annabelle, who's in Durban for this, to do artwork on the walls. They had a wonderful time together. The tables went up, the wiring was done, and he was off to a good start. So things were increasing now. He had a double garage to work in. But the day came when he asked me, please, just to come out, and wanted to check something outside with me in the garage. And I got out there and I found his layout. The tables were going right around the double garage. And what he wanted me to do was to see how much space he had to leave for the flap that he was making to allow my car in and out of the garage. Well, such is the hobby. It's an all-absorbing hobby, all-consuming, and those who do the layouts, they love it. I'm getting there now to the end. Sadly, he did not have much time to get his layout up and running again. When he died, I did not know what I was going to do with it all. Sell it off bit by bit? Didn't know. Our youngest daughter, Belinda, at the time, was caring for a client in London, and one night she decided to show him the DVD that had been made of the layout. He was blown away by the presentation, and being a historian, he said to her, "You have got to preserve this. It is a period in history." And there began another little thing for us. We had to find something that we could follow up on, and he advised, and Belinda did just that for us. And that was how we found the Village Church Farm Museum. And we were delighted when you folk agreed to take it. And as we gather here at the farm today, our family members that I've already introduced you to, and those back who are part of the Zoom presentation, and the friends who are also part of that, we are just very pleased that we're here today for this. It's been a long time in the coming. It's a difficult day in some senses, it's a very exciting day in others. Luke, our grandson, who is here today, the model railway layout was actually, when we read the will, was bequeathed to him. But he looked across the table and said, "What am I going to do with it?" He was already here. And so he said, "Please see what you can do." And that is how we got to continue with it all, and the arrangements that we made with you folk. John will be celebrating with us today, and knowing the joy that this layout will bring to many people who will come to see it. He was passionate about education, and maybe as this layout develops, you tell me it's something that's going to be worked on, and I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful project here for you. And as a family, we want to thank Maxine, Naomi, your board chairman, and the mayor. Sorry, that's not just a plus add-on, but I know exactly how hard mayors have to work. So to all of you, we say from the family, thank you very much, and we're so proud to be here today. The Borman name goes back many years in Skegness with John Thomas Borman, and John Borman and son, Johnny was the name, ran coal merchants businesses here way back before 1886 and around that time. And so in a sense, John Borman returns to his roots as these trains today start running. Thank you.
What we'll do is, if you can get both of you to cut in the ribbon. We'll get the door open first and cut.
Yes. Right, it gives me great pleasure to be able to open this new attraction of the model railway here at the Skegness Church Farm Village Museum for many people to come and see, view, learn the history about it with all the information on the boards for many years to come. Thank you.
Cut this out? No.
It's beautiful, really.
This is, if you don't know Wainfleet, then people are going to have to learn it, aren't they? But if you know Skegness and Wainfleet, you can identify everything from the churches and so on, from the station.
I remember like some of the
Well, I
shops and
hope
stuff.
we've done a fair representation of what John had achieved.
I think it's beautiful, and I think
Thank you very much.
really, he's smiling down on us.
Oh, well done. Good.
Yes, he is.
Thank you very much. Well,
I'm just looking at how much work was into each and every individual piece. And now when you said what you said, well, you can see how many hours he's put into it.
Yeah.
I can just say all aboard, and let's see if we can get a train running.
Yay!
Go.
Here we come. Oh, we watched them go
way
through
round.
that little tunnel lots of times.
Actually got the train running on the track for the first time, I think, on Tuesday. So it's not been on for very long.
Yeah. And that in itself is a very delicate operation.
It is, yes, very
You've got to have
delicate,
it
yes.
perfect.
I think once you get some noise recordings of a train steam
Yes.
or a train engine, get a bit of atmosphere in
I
here with
think
that.
that
Like you say.
toot is in the packaging somewhere.
Oh,
Yes, I think it probably is. But we have got one of John's original trains there,
Yes.
but it runs on a different system,
Yes.
and we haven't got that figured out yet. So this what we've got is one of our helpers, Graham. He actually loaned us that engine and this controller, but we will ultimately get the original system going.
You've really done us proud.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's Janet.
We'll go.
Look, curtains in the windows, I mean.
There's somebody waving out of this window.
Good that you're here anyway, so thank you.
Yeah, so he tried, you know, all those little flowers are fruits on it, lots of stuff like that.
Corey,
Yeah.
got your cap on.
So, would you like related to Martin Ford? Martin Ford. John Foreman as well, another John Foreman. In the 60s, still going it is.
Yeah.
I mean, Martin knew his dad years ago when they found High Street in Skegness. Yeah.
Possible.
I knew John Foreman was a cat.